Welcome, everybody, to the third episode of Caution Laps with Casey Bristow. I am your host, Casey Bristow. Today we have a very special guest, our third episode, extremely talented racer, Mr. Mark Cofield. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, buddy. How's your day going?
Pretty good. Woke up early, went to work, got a traffic stop in, wrote a traffic ticket. So I'd say that was a good day. Other than that, no calls. What about you?
Oh, that's pretty awesome. It's been pretty cool down this way, and just trying not to be out in the freezing cold very much.
I hear ya. Virginia's weather has been really bad here recently. I think we got down to like 14, which is, someone from up north, like let's say Cape Cod or Rhode Island, or our friend from V Speed, Morgan Cook, who lives in Canada, where it's much much colder, is probably laughing. 14 degrees. But yeah, so tell me about yourself. Who is Mark Cofield? How old are you? Where are you from? Stuff like that. We'll get the ball rolling.
I'm 60 years old. I'm from Montford, Alabama. Grew up in Alabama all my life, and uh, live about 5 miles away from Talladega Superspeedway, so get quite a bit of exposure from uh, of NASCAR stuff. I built dirt super late model and worked for a company where I was doing some work on some NASCAR chassis. We were doing some modifications. So I've been around a lot of the older Cup cars. That's been 15 years ago. So
So,
just kind of been around racing all my life.
yeah, that was going to be I had two questions. The part of Alabama you're from. When I was in the Air Force, I was stationed at a place called Eglin Air Force Base, and it was on the Panhandle, and we called it Lower Alabama because it didn't feel like Florida. It had a Alabama feel. Um, so are you in Roll Tide or War Eagle territory?
It's pretty funny because I don't really pull for either team per
Okay.
se. Um, Not necessarily a football fanatic. That is my oldest son. He's the football fan in the family. I like to see both teams win, but whenever they do go head to head, I kind of like to every which one's kind of been the underdog for the year. That's who I usually pull for. So that's normally the only game I do watch every year is the Iron Bowl.
Pretty simple. Hey, keep it simple. If you're a fan of one, like if they don't win, you're not upset or anything like that, and so that's a fun way to look at it. You said you worked on dirt late models and some old Cup car chassis type thing. How did you get into NASCAR? How did you get into racing? Did you grow up into it, or did you like get into it as you got older? What was your NASCAR racing type of? What's your journey? How did it start?
I've always kind of been a NASCAR fan. Watched NASCAR all my life. Went to work for a guy that owned a construction company, and he was into the dirt late model racing stuff, and so I started helping him build the cars and learned the shocks and suspension and all that stuff, and just started building all of his cars, and went and worked with a couple of manufacturer cars at a few races. Just learn things.
Um,
Just kind of grew from there.
okay. So like dirt race, I can't race on dirt on this thing to save my life.
Me neither. Me neither.
But you're a dirt track guy. Like that's your thing. You just is it what's the is it a lot? I'm assuming it's different from like real world stuff, obviously. But you just never been able to master it.
Well, my thing is I never drove them in real life either. I built the cars and mechanicked on them, and I could tell what they needed from watching them and from the driver's input, but I never drove them. That was not my thing.
Okay. Okay. So more of like a just kind of a crew guy.
Well, Yeah, I built the cars and crew chief pretty much.
Okay, all right. Well, anything else you want to share? Like, what do you do for a living?
Uh, we have a business where we do asphalt refinish, and we uh, do maintenance work on commercial parking lots, and then we have a small supply and service business that has a internet website based sales for some of the products that we use, and then we so during the summer we stay really busy, and then during the winter it kind of gets a little slow, but you make up for it during the summertime.
Okay. Is that what the Cofield supply and service that I see on all the cars that you run? Is that
That's that's the web-based business, yes.
okay? Okay. I want to get into
As
some.
we sell commercial paint sprayers, house paint sprayers like Graco's and Titan and that kind of stuff, and all the parts and accessories that goes with them.
Okay. All right. I want to get into the last few races that we've had together. We've had one cup race, but you've been in two past cup races, and then well, not Xfinity, Downtown Auto Sales National Series with NSRLA. But before we get into that, one last thing. You live in by Talladega. What's that like? What's the experience? I've been to Talladega once in 2015, but I don't feel like I got the full experience. I was there with a bunch of people I served in the Air Force with, and we were there for the ARCA, the Xfinity. I think it was nationwide back then. Can't remember. And the Cup race. And so, as a local, what's it like for you?
Well, it's a little different experience for me as a normal local person. My oldest son, Jonathan, used to work for NASCAR and Talladega Super Speedway, so I kind of knew everything there was about what was going on down there. Race weekends, I'd go down there and work fence crew or whatever and just hang out all weekend. So I knew everybody that was there at the track. And with Jonathan, uh, he was a jet dryer operator, so he got to go to all the different tracks. So I had a lot of insight to a lot of stuff that was going on and information, that was spread throughout that you'd find out first, that was pretty cool. So my experience is not the same as everybody's around here, but now that all that's kind of gone away, me living that close, I mean, I can sit on the back porch and listen to the cars make laps around the racetrack. Uh, Traffic is horribly chaotic. So we, for the most part, that weekend, we usually go to the mountains, go trail riding, stuff like that to stay out of it.
When I went in 2015, first of all, let me just say that place is massive. I think if what didn't it used to be like a World War II old flight strip? If
Yeah,
my
it was at one time it was an airstrip.
airstrip, why did I say
There,
flight strip?
yeah, there's still most of the runways is still there, even though they're pretty rough and ragged. But the
Yeah,
overview, you can tell that there was runways there.
yeah, that place is just so massive. I remember I, like I said, this was back in my Air Force days. In 2015, I woke up at like 6 in the morning. Um, I got in my car. I had like a bag packed, and because we were staying out there in the campgrounds. I'm not a camper. I'm not big in sleeping in tents and whatnot. I just slept in the passenger side of my 2002 Pontiac Grand Prix. But anyway, I was as comfy as could be. I woke up, got everything, got dressed, got everything I needed, ran down to the local Walmart back when Walmarts were open 24/7. I miss those days. Um, and then grabbed some beer, grabbed some food, grabbed some snacks, and I drove 6 hours up to Talladega. And I remember I wouldn't know the name of the street, but there's like this main road that takes you up to Talladega, and there's like this big gas station, and you could see the Talladega flags like for miles. I don't know how they get those
That's
flags.
the, that's Interstate 20.
I don't know how they get those flags up on those flagpoles. Those things are gigantic. And I remember
Yep.
pulling up to Talladega, and this guy came by, and this old school Dale Senior Wrangler. I think it was he had like the number two Wrangler car, like it was a street legal car, but it was painted and shaped like Dale Senior's old number two car. And I was like, wow, I'm here. Um, and yeah, that place is just
The experience is fixing to begin.
yeah, the place is so big, and we had fun. Like every single race was good. Um, Dale Jr. won that race. I remember, and there was a guy I served with that I was like, "Are you coming to Talladega with us?" And he's like, "No, I'm not gonna go." And he was a big Junior fan. And I messaged him after the race, and I'm like, Bet you wish you came now." Um, it was a lot of fun, and surprisingly, I got out of there pretty easily. I had no issues with traffic, which was a good thing. But
Yeah, with the big 4-lane road that runs in and out at the speedway and having interstate on both ends of it, it makes the congestion a lot less than at a lot of the tracks that I've been to, having country roads and stuff like that, and you know, decent drive to the interstate kind of boggles up the traffic. But
yeah, my cup track is Richmond, and I live about hour plus an hour and some change depending on traffic. But like when I go and if my wife goes with me, I'll be like, we're leaving early because I don't want to deal with traffic, and we like to explore. And there's a lot of things that they have. They had like this thing for veterans a few years ago that was a lot of fun where we got free food, and I think Austin Cindric came and talked to us, so it was real cool. But anytime someone has a chance to go to a NASCAR race, I tell them it's not about the race. If the race is boring, who cares? Go enjoy the NASCAR track atmosphere. That's what it's all about. The race is just a small part of it.
well, if you come to Talladega, um, now since they started doing the concerts and stuff in field, if you got a ticket, you go to the concert on the infield.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, you really get to experience the nightlife inside of Talladega Speedway because Eastern Boulevard gets pretty wild.
Yeah. I when we went, Chase Rice was there. Now I couldn't tell you two things about Chase Rice. I don't know any of his songs. I might know one, maybe. I don't know. But I didn't care. It was there. We were just having a good time. That place is so massive.
Yeah.
People get lost up in there. But anyway, I'm going to move on and we're going to talk about some league racing, the NSRLA. Um, so tell us about your last two cup races, and then we'll jump to I want to say Xfinity, Downtown Auto Sales Series, National Series. But the Black Diamond Designs Cup Series, we had a race last night at Daytona. And then a week ago, you had a race in Texas. So tell us about it. How'd it go for you?
Our races have been going a little better. We've been concentrating more on staying out of trouble and that kind of stuff and not making mistakes. Have a lot, I'm still 2 years, 2.5 years into this. So learning mistakes and that kind of thing, I still have those issues, pit road problems and things. So
I'm right
getting
there with
those
you.
under control, yeah, getting those under control and actually ending your race how you formed has been a lot better in the last few races than they was at the start of the season. And I have never raced this next gen car. This is my first season running the next gen car. I usually run the ARCA and trucks. So trying to trying to learn what this car wants for the next gen car is has been a lesson, but I get the feel for this car a little bit more, even though it drives like a brick. It doesn't move. If it does move, you're already spun out and in the wall.
Yeah,
But I seem to be getting a better feel for how this car acts and what it likes and don't like.
watch you get it figured out, and by the time you get it figured out, NASCAR's gonna be like, well, we got a new car, and then iRacing's gonna bring that new car in, and it's like, oh great, now we gotta learn a whole new car. But
Yeah.
oh, good old NASCAR. Anything good going on in NASCAR recently? I'm not sure.
Well, they settled the lawsuit. Don't know whether that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing because all the hidden agendas haven't come out yet. Because we all know there's probably one.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, I was watching the interview when they settled, and Michael and Denny and his lawyer were out there, Jeffrey Kessler, and Jeffrey looked happy as could be, big old smile on his face. What's his name? Jim France looked
Yeah.
miserable. Maybe there's something that we don't know. I'm sure it'll all come out soon, but oh lordy. By the way, I have to give you your credit, your praise, because you are the one that told me to do this. The
Yes.
podcast was your brainchild. So we're going to give you a round of applause. Thank you, Mark. This is this is your idea, and it's been great. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm not the best podcaster in the world, but that's okay. I'll get better, and this thing will
Yep.
grow,
Definitely will.
and
The Casey Bristow interview media room has been amazing. And
appreciate that.
I read through it all the time, and from that I was like, no, Casey needs to be talking to these people because he has a knack for this. So there's no better way to get more people engaged than to put more information out.
Yep,
Put our
that was
put,
my idea behind it.
put our league, put our series out there, give the racers more airtime, let them let the fans get to know who they're watching. So
Exactly. Yeah, that was the whole mindset behind it was just just because if someone finished fourth, and it was a streamed race, they're not going to be able to be like interviewed by the broadcast crew, and I wanted everybody's voice to be
yep.
heard because there's some guys that are running 15th and 16th, they're having a battle of their own, and they might want to let something out. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad that people seem to like the media room. Yours truly got in a little bit of trouble today with the higher ups. Not too much trouble,
Uh-huh.
but they're like, "Hey,
Gotta
don't say a
gotta
certain
gotta
word."
calm gotta calm it down a little bit.
Yeah, they weren't too
Keep
mad.
your emotions in check.
Yeah, Daytona for I think I had a car that could have won Daytona last night, but I spun myself. I came down on 80 Adam Holston and spun myself and
Yeah.
no caution, and then they lapped me. I was like, I am not staying a lap down, so I kind of worked my way up to the front a little bit, and a caution came out. But you'd think I'd be fine, but you're at the very back. And then once that green flag was waved, we got
Lost the
separated.
draft.
That was it.
Yep.
Game over. Game over. And you know
Is
what?
that
We had a little bit of controversy last night. Dustin Lewis
Yeah.
got, I want to say DQ'd. He wasn't DQ'd, but came home second. And the admins reviewed it and said, hey, you passed below the yellow line. You are bumped back to 15th. So, unfortunate for Dustin. He's had a rough couple of races, but
He has, and I really hate it for him. I mean, and
really nice
there
guy.
was a he is a super nice guy. There was a big discussion about what happened, and some a lot of video was looked at, and the rules was looked at, and to keep everything fair, the rule is you don't advance your position when you're below the line.
Mm-hmm.
And but in the same instance, me, you, Andy, Barry, any of us, if we were in that position coming to the checkered flag, hey, don't pass this guy because you're below the yellow line is not going to be the first thing in my mind. I am not lifting off of that pedal. I am going to be the first one to cross that line. I don't care if I'm below that yellow line or not because I don't realize that I'm below that line. Just, and I'm sure that in that instance, Dustin probably didn't realize he was, you know, hey, I'm going to get penalized if I pass this guy. Um, but in that instance, every one of us would have done it. We would have all got penalized because we're racers at heart and we were coming to the checkered flag. Um, I hate it for him for that, but to keep it fair for everybody, it's just, you know, a rule that's there to keep people from making moves that can cause the big wrecks and that kind
Right.
of thing. And it's a rule that we have to keep in our mind. But at the same time, when you're coming to the checker flag, that rule is not going to be in your mind when you're in the position of having a run and there's a lane on asphalt. Um, I'd have got penalized
Yeah. That tunnel
because I'm
vision
because
kicks
I'm
in.
because I'm going there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. You get that tunnel vision and you see that finish line there, and you're gaining speed, passing this guy. You ain't letting up.
Yeah, I mean, even if you do let up, you could cause a potential big wreck behind you. So it's like you're darned if you do, and you're darned if you don't. Uh, what's the saying? It's better to ask for forgiveness than, or something like this. Better to say sorry than
Yeah,
ask for
yeah, yeah,
forgiveness, something like that. I don't know. Um,
yeah, yeah,
but it's funny. Like I've been in races where like official races, not our league races, but like official races, and I've won some races that below the yellow line at like Daytona
yeah,
or whatever, Talladega, and I was credited with the win. And then the first thing that someone will say on the mic is, "That's a protest," or "You're losing that right." It's just like, come on,
yep.
guys, hush. And I've never had a win taken from me to my knowledge, but I have had a race where I finished like second. I finished second because I ended up winning. A guy got DQ'd, and I think someone protested him. We were running the. Have you ever ran the Junior Open Wheel Series on the
No,
ovals? Okay, they're
no.
fun until you wreck them. There's no cautions, and we were running at Indianapolis, and I was beating this guy for 14 straight laps of the 15 laps. And on the last corner, coming out of four, he went down the pit road lane, and he had like a
Oh
really
wow.
good run. And he came up, and he was in front of me, and we were you know, second to about fourth, fifth on back. We were bumping and banging. Came home second, and I was like, dang. I wasn't upset or nothing. I was like, dang, I wanted that win. And
Right.
for some reason, I was looking at my stats, and it said first place, and I was like, I don't remember winning that. And I looked down, and I saw a guy got DQ'd. I was like, oh wow, how
Huh.
about that?
Yeah.
But um, Downtown Auto Sales National Series. We have not me. I'm going to go see my mom and her boyfriend for dinner tomorrow night. But are you running in that tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. How you feeling?
It's Bristol, so don't go into that race with any expectations at all. Um, other than to bring it home on a hook.
Last
So
time we raced at Bristol, it was in the Cup car. You and I had a good little battle going there. Um,
yeah, I've had some good runs there. It's just that kind of like racing at a super speedway. Things is gonna happen out of your control, and it
it
it always seems to you always seem to figure out a good way to get caught up in it. I guess.
yeah. Oh, trust me,
Avoidance avoidance is key.
Trust me, I know. Yeah, you're sitting in fifth here in the point standings, so you're having a really good season. I'm looking right now. You've had 7 races, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, no wins, but it's coming. 11 bonus points, and you only have 46 incident points. Not bad. It's those who don't have many incident points, I'd say it's because they've ran like 2 races. But the past 2 races, Pocono and Watkins Glen, you've run extremely well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we've been working on our racecraft speed, trying to trying to make sure that don't burn the tires up during the run, and in doing that, it has helped finishes.
Do you like running the Xfinity car? Well, I don't know if I shouldn't say Xfinity. I'm on the
It,
um on
yeah,
the
what do you?
iRacing
It's
thing.
an Xfinity. It's an Xfinity car.
O'Reilly National, whatever it's going to be called. You enjoy
Yeah,
running them?
I do enjoy running them. That car used to be in all of us' mind just a dump truck all the time because it was so tight. But now that's because most of us were so used to running the old Arca car that was so loose.
Right. Oh
And
man, nightmares from
I,
that
I
thing.
yeah, I mean, I think that the new Arca car setups are so similar to the Xfinity car that we can transition to it a lot easier. And I've always done pretty decent in the Xfinity car, even though I felt like I was slow.
I feel like that all the
But
time.
everybody always says, yeah, everybody always says, hey, slow is fast most of the time. So
Hey, you won't burn your tires up. Not as much, at least.
yeah, and that's what, but my big thing is having patience. You feel like, oh, I can get on the gas here and drive this baby off a corner, but you get on the gas there, and the next thing you see is a wall coming because you got on the gas too
Spun it
fast or
around.
too hard. So
That's a
yeah,
that's a key
uh,
word you said there, patience. And races like the league races we run, and maybe in officials where you don't have a lot of time to be patient as much. Like it's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Like
it is.
to hold back and save your stuff and know when to go. I know I struggle with it. Sometimes it depends on what I'm racing. If like in an official race, I'll try it and then like the guys are miles ahead of me, or it's just you gotta pick and choose your battles. But yeah,
Yeah, it's very difficult as a racer to say, okay, we just took tires, we're fixing to take the green, and I know these guys behind me are fixing to pass me because I'm going to run the same consistent laps that I've been running. But 10 to 15 laps later, you're passing them, and you're like, oh, okay, that worked.
it was worth
I,
it.
I get a I get a lot of uh, advice from my oldest son. He's been doing this since 2020, and he's kind of a little bit of an alien when it comes to driving these cars. He has the knowledge and the laps on track. So I get advice from him, and he's like, I know it don't, I know you have a problem doing it, but you've got to learn to not run the tires in the ground when they're good. You got to just keep being consistent with what you're doing. So the more I've practiced that, the more I've realized that, hey, he don't win all these races for no reason. He's right. So I've been trying to practice more of what I've been being told. So
So I think you and I have gotten to know each other over time, racing with NSRLA and a few other things, and it's been fun. It's been great getting to know you, and we've raced really well together. But I'd say that you and I probably started iRacing around the same time. I think my official start time was June or July of 2023. Would you say that's about the time you started?
I want to say I've got my rig in June or July. I waited on my computer. So yeah, probably October, November.
What? So
So
would you say it was your son that got you into race, or was he like, "Hey, Dad, try this out"?
he's been doing it, like I said, since 2020, and every day, he'd be like, "Yeah, I run a race last night and done this and this. I think you'd really enjoy it." Well, he found the rig that I have. Guy had it here close to us. The guy was actually 74 years old, and he runs road course and IndyCar leagues. And he was like, I gotta have something more heavy duty. I'm upgrading all my stuff. So we went and bought this one. My son was like, you need to go get that. That's a good deal. Get you everything set up. So we went and got it set up. So once my computer arrived, we got everything set up, and he spent a lot of time making laps with me and running in the same leagues that I did so that he could help me and kind of get rolling. So
So
it was a pretty good learning curve.
when you say you have a rig, like when I think of the word rig, I think of guys who like have a chair that's like bent back, like leaning back, and they kind of got the pedals set up on it. Like for me, I'm very simple. I mean, I would want a rig, don't get me wrong, but like right now, I have a desk that belonged to my mother, a
Yes,
single monitor, and then I have my Moza R5 bundle just attached to the desk. Um,
right.
with dreams, like I said, of hopefully getting a cool rig, but that's way down the road. What do you are you the same? Do you have the same thing? Like, what's your setup?
I have a next level steel square tube rig on rollers. It is not one of the extruded aluminum high dollar chassis. I think new this thing's like 600 bucks.
Okay,
Um, but and then my monitor has its own stand that's set right against my wheelbase. And then I run awesome magic equipment. I have the older version 15 Formula Drift wheelbase and P1000 inverted pedals with the hydraulics and stuff on them.
I was
Um,
looking. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
so whenever I was getting this stuff, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get something that I'm not gonna want to upgrade
I
because that was one thing, son was like, you don't want to buy this $300 set because in 6 months you ain't gonna like it.
right. Yeah, I was looking at this SimLab P1X Pro Tony Kanaan sim racing cockpit. I saw it at this store in Northern Virginia with my wife and uh, brother-in-law. When we went up there to. She's from Northern Virginia, and I'm in Southern Virginia, from Southern Virginia, and we live in Southern Virginia now. But we were up there for a Washington Capitals hockey game, and we went and that's the day I bought my Moza R5 bundle because I had started off with the Logitech G29, and that's a great starter set, but that thing started dying on me and was was a
Yeah.
bit rough. And some of these guys, like I saw this guy, he was doing like the 24 hours of Daytona or something like that, and he had a sim rig that almost looked like a walk-in um, gun safe. Like think of like a gun safe, but instead of tall, it's more deep and wide. I mean, tall enough for you to sit
Mhm.
in. But I'm like, I mean, look, if you were to lock yourself in there, that wouldn't be good. But this thing was like high tech. Some of these guys got some serious rigs.
Yeah, I watched a video today. I'm preparing to run the Ralph Fenway Keselowski uh, holiday season race here in just a little bit, and there was a video posted of one of their Roush Esports rigs today, and that thing is, I mean, it's just like they're sitting in a car.
Yeah, it's that's
It's
insane.
they's probably $200,000 or $300,000 in one of those rigs,
Oh my
and
lord. Must be nice to,
yeah,
be able to have that.
it must be.
They
Yeah, I
s-
mean, I thought I spent too much money on this, but
they say the love of money is the root of all evil, and uh you know, I don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I love money. I'm just saying if you had that type of money because you're, let's say you're an athlete or someone that's worked really hard and you've earned it, it's hard earned,
yep,
I'd be lying if I didn't say I wouldn't spend money on some things like that. Um,
yeah.
I wouldn't spoil myself rotten, but it would be nice to have stuff like that. But I won't keep you too much longer. I got a few more questions for you. We want you to get into your RFK esports race. How did you get into that? What's that all about?
RFK puts on this race every year. It's their holiday showdown race, and they invite. a lot of the pro esports drivers into it, and then some regular drivers can participate also. You just have to go to their website and apply to get in. Last year they had one session that was full, and I think there were 45 cars in a session, and then the second session they had like 18 cars in it. And then this year it's grown so much that they have their main session plus four hosted sessions. And I think all of them are starting 43 cars. So it, their little event has grown a lot. They give away some prizes and stuff like that. It's free to enter, and you just have to enter like 2 weeks in advance to get into it. But I mean, it's just something cool to do,
I'm
something
ass-
different.
I'm assuming it's going to be the next gen car.
Yes, it is the next gen car.
Are they going to be streaming or anything? So is there a way we can
Yeah,
support the
the
'97 Cofield car?
no, the lower splits are not going to be broadcasted, but the main split that has all the pro drivers in it will be broadcast on the RFK Esports YouTube page.
Okay.
I think it's what it is. You can look up RFK Holiday Showdown on YouTube and it should
Well, look, I'm
populate.
gonna have to send you a friend request on iRace, and you have to accept it so I can watch you. I can just click watch and support you. Um, uh, in terms of iRace and official races, is there any besides running in leagues? Is there anything you like to run? Like, I enjoy super late models. Those things are fun. They're fast. I'm not the best at them, but I've always enjoyed running them. Anything specific you like to run?
Not in officials. I will run officials when a car is like at a track to where I hope I don't get any damage, just to try to keep my safety rating built up. But other than that, I try to stay out of officials. For 3 or 4 nights a week's about all I try to run. For a while there, I was running 7 days a week and
Same,
could tell I was starting to get burnt out.
same.
And so I just kind of backed it down, started running 3, 4 nights a week, spend the rest of the time with the family.
Right. Yeah.
These long races at night kind of gets to where they take away too much time. So
Yeah. Total. I completely understand where you're coming from. Um, well, since you don't really do too many officials, the next part of that question was gonna be like, what is there something that you'd like to see added, like car wise? But in terms of iRacing, they're always adding something new. They're always filling us in on what's coming, which is exciting as a customer. Um, is there anything that you would like to see added to iRacing that's not just official, but it could be used in league races or anything like that?
I'd love to see a mad drag race into it.
That'd be interesting. That would
Bring
be
some
interesting.
NHRA drag racing into it.
It's funny you
I'd run
say that. Um,
I'd run a top fuel funny car.
um, I I would like to see. I don't think they'd ever be able to do this. I mean, never say never, but like I don't know if have you ever seen like local boat races? Like you go to your
Yes.
local something like that would be super cool.
Hydro Sports.
I don't know how they could do it, but that would be fun. I would run that. Um, that would be super cool. There's a couple other cars I'd like to see them add, but you know, in 3 years from now, we'll look back and be like, I could never imagine them adding that, and we're running something completely new. So it'd be a lot of fun. Well, Mark,
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot they could add. I think they're just kind of building on what they already have, and maybe we'll see some different avenues
yeah,
come up.
they're doing a real good job. I'm proud of what they're doing. It can't be easy. Like it's, um, you know, can't please everybody, but I think they're doing a real good job over there at iRacing. Mark, we're near the end. Just I got a few quick rapid fire questions for you. I like to do that with all my guests. Just like I said, get to know them a little better. It's something real simple. So just whatever comes to your mind, you give me the answer. Some easy going questions. So like number one, what is your dream car?
70 Chevelle.
Okay, all right, all right. Mine would be a very this one. Hopefully, the next vehicle I get would be a Toyota 4Runner. That's what I want. I got a Tacoma, but I want to change up to a 4Runner. So that's my dream car right now. What's your favorite food?
Homemade hamburgers or meatloaf.
Okay,
Always my favorite.
there you go. What is your dream vacation and why?
My dream vacation has always been to go stay about 2 months in Alaska.
Okay.
My mom and stepdad got to do it when they retired, and they stayed up there for like 2.5 months and called every day, telling me about the sights and stuff like that. So that's kind of what my dream vacation is go up there and hang out for a couple of months.
You enjoy the outdoors? You're an outdoors type of guy?
Yeah, I enjoy the outdoors and seeing new things. I love seeing new stuff.
Yeah. I guess my dream vacation would be like Ireland. I'm going to Germany here in a couple of days with my wife and father-in-law and brother-in-law, and that's always been on my list. But I think maybe Ireland. But I feel like I'd be a little bit disappointed because I like the ambiance of Ireland, like the traditional Irish music and the scenery. I hope I
Hmm.
wouldn't be too disappointed. But here recently, I've been kind of like looking into like places like Montana and Wyoming. A lot of beauty out there.
Yeah, there is, and that's one reason why I want to go to Alaska. There's just so much difference in the culture up there. Cultures is the things that kind of fascinate me. Some of the historic cultures that's still alive today.
These two questions that I got for you, I'm just going to combine them. These are questions 4 and 5. Number 4 is the best life advice you've ever been given. And then number 5, what life advice would you give to your fellow competitors on iRacing, real life?
Uh, don't spend all your money in one place,
That's good.
and it is probably best advice I was ever give was to keep track of all your pennies and don't worry about your dollars because your pennies will lose you more money than your dollars will.
Hmm.
So
Some good financial advice. There you go.
yeah,
Bonus question, and we're keeping track of this. So, right now it is 2 to 1 no, but does pineapple belong on pizza?
no,
No.
absolutely not.
Yeah. So you, me, and Morgan Cook are our team no. Right now, Andy Berry is the only guy who has said yes. I don't pineapple on pizza. Like, if someone asks me, not on mine. No, it doesn't belong on mine. It can belong on yours, but not on mine. But yeah. Well, Mark,
I'm gonna dare to say Andy's probably never held a real pineapple in his hand. It always came out of a can.
maybe we'll have to find out. But Mark, this has been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed the time that we've taken to get to know each other, and it's been a lot of fun. I'll be supporting you tonight and cheering you on, and I'll cheer for you tomorrow night. I won't be there, but I'm still going to be doing my media role, and after that, we got the holiday break. Any holiday plans?
Yep. Just spend a lot of time with family. Try to spend as much time with kids as I can and see what kind of mischief I can help them get into.
Yeah.
To That's always the fun part.
I love Christmas. Are you a Christmas guy or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
love Christmas.
I love Christmas. It's the ambiance, and I just I love
Hate the
Christmas
Christmas
music.
music.
Oh, come
I hate the
on, come
Christmas
on!
music.
November 1st, I turn that stuff on. My wife doesn't like it, and
Oh,
oh man, I love me some Christmas music. And here's a shocker: I enjoy a good Christmas Hallmark movie. I like them
oh
because
yeah,
they're good. They have good stories, but they're like so unrealistic. Like
yep.
these people fall in love in the span of a week. This,
At the
that
most,
ain't,
yeah,
that ain't real life.
yeah.
That's so bad, but it makes it so good. And
Yeah,
yeah,
I enjoy watching the Hallmark movies, but the Christmas music thing, usually the whole month of November and December, my radio don't get turned on.
oh man. But the best part about Christmas is not just the gifts. Well, there is one gift that's the best gift, and
Yep,
you and I have talked
they
about this,
definitely is.
and that's the birth of the Savior. That's the best
Yep.
gift any of us could ever receive. And I've talked to a few people like Brett Wren and Brandon V's, and I'm gonna tell you, I fully believe when we cross over into eternity that you and I and our fellow believers and racers will be able to race up in heaven. So, uh,
Oh yeah, we all might get to sit in the seat beside Dale Earnhardt Sr. and make a few laps. You never
yeah,
know.
or no, I believe we'll be up there actually doing it. There's no
Yeah.
limits up there, so. You and I are gonna race together in eternity one day. You're gonna let me win though, so
Yeah.
just like I call
There'll
dibs
be
on the win.
there'll be no winners and no losers in heaven.
Right, yeah, no, of course not. We'll be up. It'll be fun up there. I can't wait. But Mark, it's been a real pleasure having you on the show, and yeah, look forward to. I'll reach out to you tomorrow night for your interview.
All right, buddy.
All
I
right.
will talk to you tomorrow. Hope you have a good rest of your afternoon.
Yes, sir. And to all the listeners, listen to this podcast. Thanks for tuning in. And the plan for next week is to have one more guest, and then I will be on a big break. Won't be back till January 4th. So the first week of January is my next podcast. So we'll catch you guys next week, and y'all have a good night.